Hello, my name is Ben Looms. I am the CEO, the creative director, and the original creator of Syrinscape. This may be the first time you're seeing our work. This may be the first time you're playing Dungeons & Dragons. This is a beginner box. Welcome to the hobby. It's the best game in the universe. I'm going to give you a little demo, a handful of minutes to show you how you can use Syrinscape to enhance the experience of this fantastic adventure, to turn it up to 11, to make it amazingly immersive, to give your players the funnest time so they will want to keep coming back to the table. Here you can hear arriving at Stormwreck Island. A bit of a main theme to begin our adventure, and each session we come back to this game, you can replay this theme, just like you're coming back to your favourite television show, and the players will rehear that theme song so they know where they are, who they are, and what they're doing. You can hear now there's a broken down version of this main theme so that you can begin the narrative over the top of it as we arrive at the dock for this fantastic experience called Stormwreck Island, the Dragons of Stormwreck Island. It's amazing. Let me put myself into the background here. If you want to get rid of that music, just actually click dock and it will fade out beautifully and smoothly as Syrinscape does. Now what's started is the Stormwreck Isle exploration music. It doesn't play a track right away. Movies and television shows don't have music just on and on and on and on and on. There's a little timer there. It's picked a random amount of time. It's going to wait until it plays a little musical motif just to create a bit of tension and discomfort in your players. Here it's about to play now. Let's see what it does. Okay, that's slightly disturbing. I never know what Syrinscape's going to do, of course, because it's all randomized. If we want another track immediately, I'm just going to double click that element there. I can do that again. It's definitely setting the mood. Fantastic. Let's move on. Right. In the book, you come to the zombie encounter. All you have to do in Syrinscape is click that button, zombie encounter, and all the work is done for you. Oh no. There's some music. Relatively light music at this part of the adventure. The music isn't too epic and massive. If I want to turn the music up, simply adjust this slider there. And when it comes to the zombie's turn, I can actually trigger a couple of zombie roars. Nice. Or a waterlogged zombie squirt. Ooh. And then when that combat situation finishes, just go back to the dock. Syrinscape smoothly transitions. Beautiful. Okay, what about our encounter with Runara? Let's head up to the cloister. There's a whole lot of other moods here, each corresponding to a section of the adventure, so it's very, very easy to use. I just click on the cloister, and we actually have NPC dialogue here. Maybe you're a fantastic voice actor and you can do all that dialogue yourself, but you can also use Syrinscape to run that encounter with Runara sort of mostly without having to do any voice acting, or in fact, like I like to do, is to use the voice actors that we have to give me a cue, remind me of the accent and the tone of the voice, and remind the players that they're actually talking to a character in the world. So let's trigger that first one shot.
Welcome to Dragon's Rest. May Bahamut's guidance lead you to whatever you seek.
This volume here adjusts the volume of these one shots relative to everything else. Let's turn that up a little bit for this next one.
Well, I am no expert on interpreting dreams, but perhaps the zombies you fought are the hunger of death you spoke of.
Now the player characters might ask Runara some questions to which she can respond.
Yes. No.
Or I can continue in my own voice, doing acting which is similar enough to the tone of that voice actor that we heard, so we can remind ourselves that we're still speaking to the same character. And then when there's a piece of dialogue that the actual voice actor can say again, maybe we can finish with that.
I have something to show you.
Excellent. Okay. Additional encounters. Let's explore the island. So there's an exploring the island mood here, which just gives us the general ambience of the island when you're actually away from the water's edge up in the hills. And once again, that Stormwreck Island music is ready to trigger randomly and every now and then with a little bit of disturbing sound. Fantastic. Okay, there's hot springs, there's a fume drake battle, there's an owl bear battle, which I'll just trigger a little bit of. Same early... Oh, fantastic. Same early level music. Okay, let's go to chapter 2. Now, say this is another session, and we pushed stop at some point, and then we're going to approach by boat. So to begin our session, as I said before, we get that theme plays. Not the massive version of the theme, but just something to harken back to where we were before. So like you're watching your television sort of recap. You know where you are. Hopefully your players will start humming this tune each time they hear it. Okay, let's skip through all the sturges and the entrance, everything goes straight for the cave. So this is cool. You've got special music for the special kind of creatures that inhabit this cave. All the fungi and everything. Once again, 3 musical elements here, improvising together an entire piece from Syrinscape. So I don't know what it's going to sound like. It's not going to be the same every time I put it on. And it never finishes. How cool is that? Pretty strings. Meanwhile, there's drips triggering and water sloshing and splashing and a bit of cave wind gluing it all together. Plus specific events, important sort of sequences of things, like breaking the fire crystal. Let's see what happens when that happens. There's this one shot there, then there's the gas release which is built into that. And then combat happens. As you get attacked by the snakes. Snakes! Why does it always have to be snakes? Oh. Oh. I notice the different combat music now. A bit bigger, a bit more epic. If you want to skip to the next... Well, we just skip that, it's gorgeous. If you want to skip to the next track, change the mix, you can just double click on this element. Let's do that. Nice. Right, chapter 3. Where are we? Rowing out to the wreck. Okay. Our drowned sailors. Once again. A bit of mood setting. How could that not set the mood? Set up in the players what their characters are going to experience. Head down to the captain's quarters. Much quieter, you can't hear the sound of the oars in the water anymore, or the water slushing on the side of the boat. That sounds bad. Hear how we sound more sort of immersed in inside. Got this serenading sailor element. Oh, all the atmosphere. Subtle, not going over the top of what we're saying, so we can roleplay over the top of it quite comfortably. But believe me, when you push stop on these sounds, the players and you will really, really feel dramatically the change in mood, the shift in mood. Ooh, let's hit that harpy battle. Oh, a big battle stab to start off that encounter, and they'll be available for other moments, other dramatic moments, should they happen. Oh, harpy. Nice. And plus there's global one-shots here that are available all the time in Syrinscape. So you've got a force missile, fire spells, lightning spells, ice spells, different energy types. The Wilhelm Scream. Very, very useful. A ba-boom tish if someone makes a bad pun. Okay, let's finish off our adventure, finish off our demo. I've certainly gone almost long enough. Arrival by foot, let's do that. Once again, setting that theme. Maybe you're playing Chapter 4 as a part of a separate session. Orienting our players. And let's head straight for Spark Render's Ritual, the most epic music that's available in this adventure. Nice. You can trigger Spark Render's speech.
You pests will not stand in my way. I will claim the might of my ancestors.
Fantastic, Spark Render. You're very significant. We do believe you will grow up to being a big bad dragon at some point in your life. Okay, Spark Render's roar when it comes to Spark Render's turn. Nice. Nice. Occasional taunt.
Yes, flee before my might, as all will flee when I claim my inheritance.
You go for it, Spark Render. And Spark Render's breath. Nice. And that's a little bit of a view at what you can do with Syrinscape for this fantastic adventure. Enjoy Dungeons & Dragons, get into the hobby, and spread the word about the best way to play with Syrinscape, turning your game up to 11. Yes, Battle Stab. Roar, roar, roar. Breath weapon.